lesson, we will be learning about the differentiation of heating or the differences in heating of water and land. What do we mean by water and land, and what do we mean by heating is basically there are lots of differences in the properties of land and water which absorb heat. We study land and water specifically because they make up the surface or the terrestrial part of our earth which receives the entire radiation from the sun. Atmosphere does not receive any radiation from the sun, but basically atmosphere also receives the radiation from the terrestrial radiation that is being radiated. So basically, in order to understand this, let us understand what is basically the absorption and radiation meaning. So firstly, radiation and absorption are basically are just like the two faces of a coin. So basically, absorption is basically the amount of heat that a body is obtaining. So for example, water or land, when it is under the influence of sun's radiation, it collects a lot of heat. And that process of collection, that absorption of the radiation is literally what is the absorption of heat or the absorption of radiation. We also have radiation, which is basically the emitting of the body of energy. So the energy that has been absorbed, the sun's radiation that has been absorbed is now being emitted out as radiation, and hence that is also a phenomena for land and water. So we compare land and water on absorption criteria and radiation criteria. So when we talk about absorption criteria, the main thing is that the amount of heat that is being absorbed and the intensity at which it is being absorbed is very rapid. So basically the absorption of heat is very rapid. That means it happens very quickly in land. And the heat that is absorbed is also very intense. That means the temperature increases of the land very much because the intensity of absorption of heat is very high. So more the amount of heat energy is basically it is absorbed by the land, which basically makes it very hot. For example, you can touch a marble or a granite, which might be literally very hot. So this is the absorption part of the rapid or the obtaining of heat part from the sun for land. When we talk about radiation part, that means when the earth itself or the land itself is radiating heat from it, it cools down. Basically when the energy is leaving it from the land cools down, and even the cooling part is done very rapidly. So we might observe that during evenings when the sun is basically no more, then the land loses its heat very fast, and that is what is cooling rapidly, and that is what is rapid heating and intense heating. Also, if we talk about the sea itself, the sea is basically what is moderately heated. During the absorption phase, the sea gets moderately heated. So it gets moderately heated, and because of which the absorption criteria compared to the land is very less. So it gets heated very slowly. That is what we observe. Water gets heated very slowly, and also the intensity of water being heated is not very high. Similarly, because of these properties that reflect even in the radiation properties, where it cools down very slowly. Once the sea is heated, it takes a very long time before it cools down. So this is the difference between land absorption and the sea absorption. Now let us talk about the solar radiation that is incoming. So basically solar radiation means that the energy that is being emitted out from the sun. So the energy that is being emitted out by the sun, the solar radiation, is basically termed as insolation. So the solar radiation that is coming into our planet is called as insolation. And this helps in deriving a constant known as solar constant, which basically means the intensity of the insolation, or the insolation that is reaching the outer surface, the intensity of the insolation at the outermost surface, that is at 480 kilometers from the Earth's surface, that is the top part of the atmosphere, the amount of intensity is called as solar constant. So that is the solar constant. Solar constant can be defined as the insolation reaching the outermost part of the atmosphere, which is at 480 kilometers. So with that, we come to the end of this lesson where we have learned what is the difference between absorption and radiation we have understood what is absorption and radiation. We have also compared it with land and sea and have checked their absorption and radiation properties. So till we meet next time, all the best, keep learning.